IB's been basically what I expected. I've liked it so far in that the courses are challenging and I like my teachers. So.
It's just that every once in a while, like maybe once every couple weeks, like there's just a really intense time where you're just like, wow, there's so much stuff going on right now, and you're like, you know, what do I need to do? And sometimes you just kind of like just stare at your homework and you're just kind of blank staring. You're just like, what do I do now? But like I said, that only happened every once in a while.
IB was almost nothing like I expected it to be. I thought it was just going to be this like horrible, huge ball of stress and me like breaking down crying every night and like having to get counseling in a support group. But it was actually really great.
Definitely like a lot of work, and you just have to prepare yourself to kind of take control and manage your time. And I think time management was challenging, but I think over the 2 years I definitely improved on that.
Classes like TOK, I wasn't really expecting to get that sort of aspect of it, because throughout middle school and 9th and 10th grade year, a lot of it was me just doing a lot of like busy work, and a lot of it was sort of easy for me because it was like going through the motions. With IB, it became more of a challenge because I had to reevaluate how I was thinking about things.
Well, I expected IB to be something extremely strenuous and something extremely difficult, and at times it has been like that when when the level of work that I've received has escalated a lot. But for the most part, I'm typically able to manage everything that I've been assigned. So,
not really. I think it's definitely more stressful, at least junior year, than I initially expected. But overall, it's been a good experience.
IB was not at all like I expected it to be, because the people from last year when I was a sophomore, they told me that it was hard, that it was backbreaking, and that it would kill me. But it really hasn't at all. I mean, maybe I just heard from some of the whiniest people in the grade, I don't know. But IB is difficult if you make it difficult.
So I knew it would be tough. I'm not sure that I was quite ready for the amount of time that it would take. You know, the workload definitely does consume a lot of your time.
When I was a sophomore, I was really kind of like the seniors at the time were kind of hyping up the IB program to be this extremely rigorous program, and taking up all your time. You have no time for extracurriculars or any groups or anything like that. But once I've gotten into the IB program, it's really not at all what I was expecting.
If you are wanting to get the most out of school that you can, and you're looking for the type of interactive classroom, then it's definitely a good choice and well worth any of the extra assignments that you may have to do.
I had to do the hardest program available, and obviously that's IB. So that just gave me the opportunity to have a really rigorous program that would look good on a college application, and colleges would be, if not impressed by, at least, they would say, hey, this is a kid that did everything he could to be prepared for college.
Up in college, a lot of professors, they don't really care about oh, you got a test coming up, I'm gonna give you another paper to do, another project to do. They don't really care about that. IB is almost the same way, only the teachers actually do care more about you succeeding and you being prepared.
So when it comes to college applications, there are a number of different essays and stuff I have to write to get into the university, get into their honors college, a lot of the scholarships I've done. And so after doing things like the EE and the IA, it makes it much easier to kind of crank out a 500-word essay, no problem.
As far as the college admissions process goes, IB sort of levels the playing field. Coming from a new high school, sometimes a college can be looking at you as a risk because they don't really know and have a good history of students coming from your school.
IB has helped me in the college searching process just because I feel like I have started to open my horizons to things that I thought maybe I wouldn't try for before I started doing IB. And so I think that I really branched out in my college decisions.
The best part of IB is the friendships and sort of camaraderie you get from having, people going through a similar program as you.
It was a lot like a big community, especially in my senior year, and I really cherish the moments that I got to share with all the friends that I made.
That you get the same teacher for 2 years. And this really helps in some difficult classes, such as in physics or even in history, for example, to have someone who knows you, that knows your weaknesses and knows your strengths, and is able to kind of help you and guide you along the way.
I think that gaining the college credit is the most rewarding, just because you're in there and you get to start off not taking all those easy classes. You get to start right where you need to be, and I think that's really cool.
I just think the classroom dynamic for me is my favorite part, because I think that there's a very different dynamic level that IB offers.
My favorite part of IB is probably the way that the teachers are teaching us right now. It's a pretty relaxed curriculum sometimes, but at other times it can be really hard. The teachers were really cool. They worked really well with us as students, and it's just a really inviting program, I think.
I've had a lot of really great friends who've become really close to me and to each other, and so we kind of support each other in what we do. We're all having to take all of these hard classes, so it kind of helps to be with a great group of people while you're doing it.
I'd say my favorite part about the IB course is the fact that I get to take 2 sciences. I'm taking DP Physics and DP Biology right now.
I've had a lot of moments with kind of our little community, because our class individually, there's a lot of IB kids, and I think because I was in IB, I've had the opportunity to grow closer to a lot of those people.
Definitely when we were all giving our TOK presentations and one student had obviously not prepared and decided to pretend to faint.
Miss McCormick's class, or Coach McCormick as we affectionately refer to her as, it's really been great. We've become really close. Everything in there is really, really difficult, and I still don't completely understand like a bunch of what we go over in there, but we have a great time in there.
I would say my favorite IB memory is when me and some of my friends all gathered at one of my friends' houses to write I believe it was a 3,000 word paper for HL Math, for my HL Math class on related rates. And so we all got together and sat at my friend's house for hours eating mint Oreos and just trying to get the paper done. It was due at midnight, and I turned it in at 11:13, and I was incredibly proud of myself.
Okay, I think my favorite memory from IB was when I tried to drop to half IB after my junior year. And I went to some regular classes for a day that weren't IB, and I just realized how different the dynamic was and how I had really enjoyed the type of classroom that I had been in IB. And so once you get into it, and it's really hard and you may be regretting it, but I just realized what a good challenge it had been. And then I reconsidered and rejoined IB, so that was my favorite memory.
3, 2.
That was so underwhelming.